Maria just got married, and as a traditional Italian, she was still a virgin. On her wedding night at her mother's house, she felt nervous. However, her mother reassured her, saying, "Don't worry, Maria, Tony's a good man. Go upstairs and he'll take care of you." So, she went upstairs. Once upstairs, Tony took off his shirt, revealing his hairy chest. Maria ran downstairs to her mother and exclaimed, "Mama, Mama, Tony's got a big hairy chest." Her mother comforted her, saying, "Don't worry, Maria, all good men have hairy chests. Go upstairs and he'll take good care of you." So she went up again. In the bedroom, Tony took off his pants, exposing his hairy legs. Once more, Maria ran downstairs, saying, "Mama, Mama, Tony took off his pants and he's got hairy legs." Her mother reassured her, "All good men have hairy legs. Tony's a good man. Go upstairs and he'll take good care of you." Maria went up again. Upon reaching the bedroom, Tony took off his socks, revealing that on his left foot he was missing all 5 toes. Shocked, Maria ran downstairs again, saying, "Mama, Mama, Tony's only got a foot and a half." Her mother replied, "Stay here and stir the pasta. This is a job for." Some time ago, a blonde walks into a pharmacy and requests bottom deodorant. The assistant, a bit puzzled, explains that they have never carried such a product. Undeterred, the blonde insists she has been purchasing it regularly from this store and would like more. The shop assistant, aware they don't stock such an item, smiles at the blonde and says, "One moment, please. I will get the pharmacist." The pharmacist arrives and asks, "Can I help you, miss?" The blonde replies, "I would like to buy some bottom deodorant, please." The pharmacist apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry, but we don't have any." The blonde insists, "But I always get it here." The pharmacist asks, "Do you have the container it comes in?" The blonde affirms, "Yes," and goes to retrieve it. She returns with the container and hands it to the pharmacist, who examines it and says, "This is just a normal stick of underarm deodorant." Annoyed, the blonde snatches the container back and reads aloud from it. "To apply, push up." After retiring, my wife insisted that I accompany her on her Walmart trips. Unfortunately, like many men, I found shopping tedious and preferred to get in and get out. Equally unfortunate, my wife, like most women, loves to browse. Yesterday, my dear wife received the following letter from our local Walmart. "Dear Mrs. Harris, over the past 6 months, your husband has caused quite a commotion in our store. We cannot tolerate this behavior and have been forced to ban both of you from the store. Our complaints against your husband, Mr. Harris, are listed below and documented by our video surveillance cameras. June 15th. He took 24 boxes of condoms and randomly placed them in other people's carts when they weren't looking. July 2nd. Set all the alarm clocks in housewares to go off at 5-minute intervals. July 7th. Made a trail of tomato juice on the floor, leading to the women's restroom. July 19th. Walked up to an employee and told her in an official voice, "Code 3 in housewares. Get on it right away." This caused the employee to leave her assigned station, receive a reprimand from her supervisor, resulting in a union grievance, causing management to lose time and costing the company money. August 14th. Moved a caution wet floor sign to a carpeted area. August 15th. Set up a tent in the camping department and told children shoppers he'd invite them in if they brought pillows and blankets from the bedding department, to which 20 children obliged. August 23rd. When asked if they could help him, he began crying and screamed, "Why can't you people just leave me alone?" EMTs were called. September 4th. Looked right into the security camera and used it as a mirror while he picked his nose. September 10th. While handling guns in the hunting department, he asked the clerk where the antidepressants were. October 3rd. Darted around the store suspiciously while loudly humming the Mission Impossible theme. October 6th. In the auto department, he practiced his Madonna look by using different sizes of funnels. October 18th. hid in a clothing rack, and when people browsed through, yelled, "Pick me! Pick me!" October 21st. When an announcement came over the loudspeaker, he assumed a fetal position and screamed, "Oh no, it's those voices again!" And last but not least, October 23rd. Went into a fitting room, shut the door, waited a while, then yelled very loudly, "Hey, there's no toilet paper in here. No toilet." In the earliest days of humanity, when there were only one man and one woman on earth, they found themselves entangled in marital troubles. Adam had been staying out very late for several nights, causing Eve to grow increasingly upset. With suspicion clouding her mind, she confronted him, accusing, "You're out there meeting other women, aren't you?" Each time she watched him, her eyes narrowed with worry. Adam, tired and uninterested in an argument, responded, "You're not being fair. Look around, it's just you and me here. You're the only woman on earth." While his logic seemed sound, suspicion is not always swayed by reason. Eve, however, remained unconvinced, holding on to her doubts. Persistently, she questioned, "Then why all these late-night wanderings?" Their back and forth continued, words flying like arrows, yet none could penetrate the shield of Adam's patience. As the night deepened, the world around them grew quiet, and Adam, worn out from the day and the lengthy argument, fell asleep. However, the night did not bring rest to the first couple. In the midst of a deep sleep, Adam felt a persistent prodding at his chest. Groggy and confused, he opened his eyes to find Eve poking him with a determined look on her face. Rubbing the sleep from his eyes, Adam's confusion turned to irritation as he asked, "What on earth are you doing?" Eve replied, "Counting your ribs." In a small hospital in Japan, there was a stir in the maternity ward. A Japanese man paced back and forth in the hallway, his face displaying a mix of worry and confusion. His wife had just given birth to a beautiful baby girl. But there was a peculiar detail about the baby that deeply troubled him. The little one had a full head of bright red hair, a stark contrast to the black hair both he and his wife possessed. Baffled and somewhat upset, the father sought out the doctor who had delivered his child. Approaching the doctor, he expressed his concerns. "Doctor, I must tell you, I am quite upset. My daughter has red hair. This cannot be. My wife and I have black hair. She cannot be my child." The doctor understandingly nodded and tried to reassure the man, explaining, "There's no need to worry. Hair color can be a peculiar thing. It's possible that one of your distant relatives had red hair. It's all about genetics." However, the father remained unconvinced. "That can't be," he insisted. "We are 100% Asian, and our families have black hair through and through." After a moment of contemplation, the doctor asked a more personal question. "Tell me, how often do you have intimate relations?" The man looked down and admitted, "Well, it's been a very busy year. I've been working non-stop. Maybe we have been together once or twice every month." The doctor, nodding as if expecting this response, smiled and said, "Ah, I see. That explains everything." Puzzled, the man looked up and asked, "What do you mean?" The doctor replied with a grin, "It's just rust." A wise old farmer aimed to impart lessons of entrepreneurship and resourcefulness to his 18-year-old son. To test the boy's skills, he handed him a duck and challenged him. "Take this to the town, my son. By the time you return, make sure you are in a better position than when you started." Enthusiastically accepting the challenge, the young lad embarked on his journey towards the bustling town, contemplating how he could profit from the duck. Along the way, he encountered a lady who offered companionship to lonely souls. Intrigued by the lad and his duck, she approached with a hint of mischief. The son proposed a deal. 15 minutes of your time in exchange for this fine duck." The lady, enticed by the peculiar barter proposition, accepted. After spending time together, she was so impressed with the young man's vigor and charm that she made another proposition. She said, "If you're up for another round, I'll give you back the duck." Elated by this unexpected turn of events, the boy found himself in a similar position as before, still having the duck and now with a memorable experience. However, the day's adventures took an unexpected turn. As he walked back towards his village, A sudden noise from a nearby construction site startled the duck, causing it to fly into the road and into the path of a speeding truck. Tragically, the duck met its end. The compassionate truck driver, feeling responsible for the accident, approached the boy, handed him a note, and expressed his apologies. The note contained 10 pounds, a gesture of condolence for the loss. By evening, the young lad returned home. Eager to hear about his son's day, the father asked, "Well, how did your day unfold?" The son replied, "Pretty good. I got a duck. Traded a duck for a unique experience and 10 pounds for a duck." A young Amish fellow finds himself in a tough spot when a bunch of wooden crates spills off his wagon. Sweating and straining under the scorching sun, a passerby expresses concern about the lad overexerting himself. Curious, the man learns that the lad fears his father's wrath if he doesn't tidy up quickly. Advising the lad to take it easy, they eventually pause under a shady tree for a water break. Inquiring about the lad's father, the man suggests having a chat to sort things out. The lad, with a touch of humor, reveals that his father is buried beneath the toppled crates. A guy is working out next to a blonde at the gym, and as he gets hot during his exercises, he decides to take off his shirt. The blonde playfully compliments his impressive chest, to which he confidently responds, "100 pounds of pure dynamite, babe," before resuming his workout. After a while, feeling even hotter, he decides to take off his pants. Once again, the blonde winks and praises his well-defined calves. Unfazed, the man repeats his earlier line about being 100 pounds of pure dynamite and continues with his exercises. Eventually, he gets so overheated that he takes off his underwear without hesitation. This time, the blonde screams and runs away in fear. The man chases after her, puzzled, and asks why she ran away. The blonde explains, "I was afraid to be around all that dynamite when I saw how short the fuse was." Little Johnny hopped on a bus one day and found himself seated next to a man deeply engrossed in a book. Johnny couldn't help but notice that the man was wearing his shirt collar the wrong way around. Unable to contain his curiosity, little Johnny asked, "Excuse me, sir, why is your collar turned backward?" The man responded gently, "Well, young man, it's because I'm a father." Confused, little Johnny retorted, "But my dad is a father too, and he doesn't wear his collar flipped like that." With a patient smile, the man explained, "You see, I'm not just a regular father. I'm a father to many, many people." Johnny, still not fully grasping the idea, replied, "Well, my dad has 4 sons, 4 daughters, and even 2 grandkids, and he's never worn his collar backward." Growing a bit restless, the father responded, "Young man, what I mean to say is I am a spiritual father to hundreds of people." Little Johnny pondered this for a moment, leaned closer and whispered, "Considering you're a father to so many, maybe it'd be wiser if you wore a condom and put your pants on backward instead of your collar."